Let's read the problem below, then use what you learned about calculating areas of circles to solve the problem. As you can see in the figure, 4 circles are drawn in a square with side length 5 inches. Find the area of the shaded part of the figure. So again, this is 5 inches. If I were you, I would pause this video right now and solve it. Let's picture this. You can draw segment AB, that's line segment, through the center of 2 of the circles. Okay, and if you can see here, the length of this line segment is 5 inches, right? So think about that. If that's 5 inches, what do you think the diameter of one of the circles will be? If you said 2.5 inches, you're correct because it's half of that. 2.5 here and 2.5 here. Sorry that it's a little messy. Let's model it. You can use a formula to find the area of a circle. The shaded figure consists of 4 circles. So think about that again. If the diameter is 2.5 inches, think about how you would find the area of one of these circles. So take the formula area equals pi r squared. Alright, we don't have the area. Pi stays pi. And now what's the radius? If the diameter is 2.5 inches, think about what the radius would be. Okay, instead of pi actually, let's write 3.14. Okay, put it in parentheses and think what the radius will be. Pause the video and plug in the radius and I will give it to you as soon as you unpause. Well, if you said 1.25, that's correct because the radius is half the diameter. And now you do the math. The first thing you need to do, as you know, is 1.25 times 1.25 because exponents comes before multiplication. And what they did, well, excuse me, now whether you do 1.25 times 1.25, you get 1.5625. So now you have this amount, and then you're going to multiply that by 3.14. Okay, when you do that, you get 4.90625. So the area of one of the small circles is 4.90625. So I want you to think about that moving forward. So the next page, there's going to be some questions that will help you. If you need to go back to this page, that's no problem at all. Okay? Let's look. Let's connect it all. Now you will find the area of the shaded part of the figure. Remember, the question is asking, find the area of the shaded, only the shaded part. And I did one of them. Okay, so let's look at this. What can you say about the sizes of the 4 circles? Look at pictured it. And we did that. You guys can go back to that. Picture it. Okay. What is the relationship between the side of the square and the diameter of one of the circles? And again, we did that. So you can go back and see what we did. These, again, are all helpful clues. What is the length of the radius of each circle? And then please explain your work. Find it, and we did that as well. Find the area of one of the circles, which again we did. Use 3.14 for pi. Round your answer to the nearest hundredths. Now that's something we did not do. Alright, and hopefully you will do that. Then it says to write an equation that represents the area of the shaded part of the figure. Then solve your equation. And then the last question says explain how you could find the area of a figure that is formed by several same size circles. Okay. So again, I would pause this video, answer these questions, and then check your answers after you complete them. Look at the answer to question 15. What can you say about the sizes of the four circles? They're all the same size. What is the relationship between the sides of the square and the diameter of one of the circles? And again, we did that. The diameter of a circle is half the length of the side of the square. Remember, the diameter of one circle. Let me go back so I can show you what that means. Okay. The diameter of one circle is half the size, like they say, or half the length of the side of the square. So the side of the square is 5, and you can see that half of it, okay, is the length of one of the circle's diameter. Now it says, what is the length of the radius of each circle? Well, we did that. The answer is 1.25 inches. And again, explaining it, the diameter of each circle is half the length of the side of the square we just showed you, or 2.5 inches, because half of 5 is 2.5 inches. And the radius is half the diameter, which is 1.25 inches. Then it says to find the area. Now we showed you the work, and we did all the math for you, and we got 4.90625, but this says to round to the nearest hundredths, so it's 4.91. Remember the hundredths place value. Let's review that real quick. 4.90625. To round, for those who forgot, you go to the place value. They say the hundredths place value, which is this place value. You underline that number. That's what helps me. And then you look to the number to the right of it. If it's 5 or above, this goes up. If it's 4 or below, this stays the same. So obviously it's 5 or above, so this becomes a 1. That's why the answer is 4.91 square inches. Then it says to write the equation that represents the area of the shaded part of the figure, then solve it. So one of the possible equations is shaded area equals 4 times the area of each circle. So the area of each circle is 4.91 times 4. Or you could have done 4.91 plus 4.91 plus 4.91 plus 4.91. When you do the math, hopefully you guys got 19.64 square inches. Last question says, explain how you can find the area of a figure that is formed by several same size circles. I can find the radius of one of the circles and calculate the area, because I have the formula, pi r squared. Then I can multiply that area by the number of equal sized circles there are. Okay, because every circle will be congruent. Let's look at one more question. Use what you just learned about calculating areas of circles to solve the problem below. Show your work on a separate sheet of paper and submit it to me. Find the area of the shaded figure in the diagram below. Use 3.14 for pi and round your answer to the nearest hundredths. I want you to think about this. Okay, there's 3 circles. They are all congruent. The base is 21.3 inches for this rectangle. So I want you to think carefully. Pause this video, solve it, and then unpause it to get the answer. Well, if you got an answer of 118.72 square inches, congratulations. You're understanding this. For those who did not, even for those who did, it's always good to review this, and I'm going to break this down step by step right now. So, let's start with the base here, 21.3 inches. That means the diameter of all of these combined is 21.3. And since there's 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to take 21.3 and divide that by 3. Okay, and when I do that, I get 7.1. That means the diameter of each circle will be 7.1 inches. Sorry for not writing it clear. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these circles, and I know the diameter is 7.1. So if the diameter is 7.1, I'm going to put d equals 7.1. What do you think the radius would be? Well, it's half the diameter. So I would do 7.1 divided by 2, and I would get 3.55. So now I have a circle. Oh, let me do it somewhere else. A circle with a radius of 3.55. Now I can find the area of this circle. Remember, always write out the formula. Area equals pi r squared. Now I'm going to plug numbers in. I'm going to use 3.14. They tell me to here. So I'm going to say 3.14. Remember, I like to put this in parentheses. Times the radius of this one circle, which is 3.55 to the second power. So the first thing I would do is 3.55 times 3.55. Right? Because of exponents. And when I multiply those, I get 12.6025. Okay, and then I'm going to multiply that by 3.14. And then I would have the area for one of the circles. When I take that and multiply by 3.14, I get 39.57185. Notice I haven't rounded to the nearest hundredths, and I'm not going to till my final answer. So this amount, this area, okay, is the area for one circle. And remember, there's 3 of them. So I can write an equation if I wanted to. Or I can take 39.57185 and multiply by that 3 because there's 3 of them. And 39.57185 times 3 will give me 118.71555. And remember, it says round to the nearest hundredths, so I go to the hundredths place value, put a line underneath. I know that place value. Look to the number to the right, and since it's 5 or above, that's going to be 118.72 square inches. Don't forget the units, and there it is. Again, if you got stuck, what I would do is I would replay this again, step by step, and hopefully you'll get that. If you have any questions, email me or ask.